you tell me a little bit about what Godly Play is? Okay, go ahead.
It's about telling stories.
Godly Play is a place for kids to come together and watch and hear a Bible story.
A story that, as adults, we've heard over and over again. But you'll be asked questions that make you think about it in a way you have never thought about it before.
At the beginning you hear a story, and that kind of teaches you a lesson about God. And sometimes you don't really understand it, but when you get older you will understand it.
In Godly Play we get to see it, everything that's happening. It's almost like we're actually there, you know?
The idea of being able to touch, to see, to smell, to really be a part of the story in a way that is different than just reading.
After you hear the story, before work time, the storyteller would ask you questions like, what was your favorite part of the story? Or what would be something that you could take out of the story but still have all of it?
Our purpose is not to tell them what to get from the story. Our purpose is to help them express what they're learning and receiving from the story.
Especially the ones where the storyteller would ask, where do you see yourself in the story? Because then I learned where other people are,
I really appreciate that. It's not canned and not us trying to give them the right answers or trying to pull from them what we think is the right answer, but really exploring together.
They have to struggle with some of these things on their own and form a language that they can then use for themselves and in their families to express who God is, who Jesus is, how He loves us, how we interact with Him.
Then they have a work time where they can do art, they can write in their journal.
When you're praying, that's kind of being with God, like being with Him. And when you're in church, it's kind of a time to praise Him. But when you're in Godly Play, it's kind of a time to work with Him.
And then there's a feast where everybody gets back together and they have a little snack.
And then we all pray. You can pray out loud or you can pray in your heart.
And when you all play, nobody else can talk.
Every food you eat is a feast because even if you're eating it by yourself, you're kind of sharing it with God,
And so it's not about how much food you have, it's about who you have it with.
But Godly Play is something you need to experience, to hear the story, to wonder about the story, and then to be able to use your hands or mind or whatever to further explore what the story means to you.
We get to learn that God is always with us wherever we go.
I've learned how important He is and how much He has helped us.
Have the same things in us.
Well, I've learned that I don't always have the same questions as answers as other people.
It really lends itself to more authentic, deeper understandings.
I think it's for everybody in the church community, or anybody can come and do Godly Play to learn about God more.
I think the adults will benefit from the children, from hearing the children freely wonder, where adults, I think there's some fear in doing that. They've built up fear because at some point maybe they were told they were wrong.
I think for the children, if they got to hear grown-ups doing the same exact thing they're doing, it would just encourage them even more.
But you will always at one point get off track. And, it could just be less if you learn to listen for anybody.
Think of it as fun. Don't think of it as this kid thing that kids do and it's only for kids. Because Godly Play is really for everyone, because it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. It just matters that you have a relationship with God and that you kind of understand some parts of God.